Hi, I'm David. Tell me what you do when you peel a banana or you open a can of green beans, and after you've eaten the green beans or you've eaten the fruit of the banana, do you put the peel and the empty can in a trash can somewhere in the kitchen? Most of us do. What happens to that can and that peeling once that trash can in the kitchen becomes full? Well, for most of us, we take that can out and put it into another receptacle until the trash man can haul it off. How often, let me ask you this question, how often do you pour the contents of the trash can out in your kitchen floor and sit in the middle of it and see if there's anything worth keeping? Do you take the can and pour it out in the kitchen floor, or do you take it outside to the garage where it belongs? Well, unless you've lost a ring or something that you think is valuable, you won't pour it in your kitchen floor and sit in the middle of it. You'll take it out and put it in the garage or in the dumpster so the trash man can haul it off. Well, let's take it a step further. What happens to it when the trash men come and haul it away? How many of you have ever chased a garbage truck? Here it is, the big old garbage truck with the stinky odor in it, with the wheels, and it's driving down the road. How many of you have ever chased a garbage truck down the road asking for your garbage back so you can put it in your kitchen and pour it out on the floor and see if there's anything worth keeping? Well, I doubt if any of us have done that. Well, let's take it one step level. We don't ask, hey, I want it back. We let it go. Well, where do they take it? Well, they take it out to the landfill. And similarly, let me ask this question. How many of you have ever gone to the city landfill, if you even know where it is, and waded through everybody else's garbage to try to find yours so you can bring it back home and pour it in your kitchen floor and sort through it and see if there's anything worth keeping? Well, it doesn't work that way for any of us. We let it rest. We let it go out there. And it really is, I think, a great illustration of what we need to learn to do with our emotional garbage. How often do we hold on to our emotional garbage and revisit it and revisit it and revisit it and revisit it until it just kind of stinks up our whole heart and our whole soul? What would happen if you didn't, with your kitchen garbage, take it out and let the garbage men take it to the city landfill? You kept all of it in your kitchen. Let's say for 6 months or 9 months or a couple of years. How would your kitchen smell? Would you even want to go in there? Of course not. Well, it's the same thing with our hearts. If we don't learn how to let go of our emotional garbage and let what needs to take place with it, well, we'll stink up our hearts. Well, let me ask you this quick question. What happens to our real garbage out at the landfill? This is really cool. It gets recycled. It gets buried. It gets churned under and turned under and turned over. And over the long haul, all of it turns into very fertile soil. As a matter of fact, we have some friends who live in a community where the old city landfill has been turned into a housing development. And the roses in their front yard are twice the size of what they used to be in their old front yard. They used to fertilize and bring in water and special concoctions to keep these roses beautiful. But in their new house, all they have to do is water. And the roses are big and beautiful and more fragrant than ever. And it's because they learned how to let go of all of that other stuff and just count on the natural processes of letting things turn back into what they're supposed to turn into. Well, with your emotional garbage, are you holding on to it? Are you making it something that you just keep going over and over and over in your own life and in your own mind and in your own heart, and maybe doing what some people have called stinking thinking? If that's the case, it may be an important thing for you to learn how to let go of it. Let me ask you to do this exercise. Get out a fresh piece of paper and just write on it 2 or 3 keywords of some emotional issue that you've been holding on to for some time. Maybe something you haven't forgiven somebody for. Maybe it's something you don't know the answer to, but there's an emotional charge to it. Write it down on that piece of paper. And then what I'd like you to do is to wad it up and hold it in your hand and hold it out over a trash can. Now, one of the things that we know is if we just hold our hand out and hold our hand out and hold our hand out like this, it seems like the way that paper gets heavier and heavier and heavier. Well, is it actually getting heavier? Well, of course not. But it feels that way. Sooner or later, what we have to do is learn how just to let go. And I hope that this illustration and even this little bit of fun about our kitchen garbage will help you understand that emotional garbage is something we can treat just the same way. We can learn to let go of it, and because of that, we can live healthier and fuller lives.